Hi, everybody. I think I have the worst jet lag of anybody in the room, so I'm going to bring energy. We're in the last stretch, and thanks for having me here today. I'm really excited to talk to you about what we've been doing in our ocean-bound supply chain. HP's supply chain is gigantic, over $50 billion, and it stretches all around the world, and we're making shifts to reinvent how it works and what materials are flowing through it. So today's talk is really a story about what we're doing, so you get a sense on the ground of what it's like working deep inside our supply chain and how we're working to change it for the better. So HP has a strong legacy of commitment to sustainability. It goes back to our founders, Bill and Dave, Hewlett and Packard. And this is a quote from Dave Packard. So back in the 50s when they started our company, this was the ethos with which they set forth. The betterment of our society is not a job to be left to a few, it's a responsibility to be shared by all. And over the years at HP, this sentiment has continued to grow and flourish. And as we reinvent ourselves each day to meet the needs of our customers and the future of the planet, we keep this in mind. We have a strategy called Sustainable Impact, and it has three key pillars: planet, people, and community. Planet, obviously, is our products and services. How are they used sustainably out in the world when people are plugging them in, when they reach end of life? What types of materials are we putting in them in the first place? People, that's with a focus on human rights throughout our supply chain and in our workforce, as well as diversity and inclusion. HP functions in over 170 countries, so our people are incredibly important to the company, and making sure that we respect them and treat them with dignity is really important. And then finally, community. So not just where our employees and our offices are based, but where our supply chain is based and where our customers are based. How is HP contributing positively to a healthy community? And the project that I'm going to talk about in detail today really tries to hit across all of these three pillars. And as we're continuing to reinvent the company, we're thinking about this matrix of planet, people, community, and how we can bring elements of all of those values to our work every day. And I know we've talked a lot about the planet piece today, but we're going to talk about how that connects to people and community and how we need to see that interact in no matter what we're doing going forward. So, to set some context for recycled content at HP, specifically recycled plastic, how much do we use? In FY17, we published these numbers of using over 18,000 tons of recycled plastic in our products, and this is across our entire portfolio, our personal systems, our printing, our ink cartridges. This is something that we've been doing for quite some time to get to this number. This has been an effort of innovation across our portfolio. And we're going to continue to do more. This number certainly does not represent enough of a chunk of the amount of materials that HP uses. We know this, and we're working to continue to increase this number every day. So I'm going to focus in on one of our products, our ink cartridges. Does anybody here have an HP printer? Hopefully you've all seen these and used our printers. This is one of the leading examples of circular economy thinking inside our company, and it's a way that we're thinking about planning for the future. So the process, when you go out and you buy your new HP ink cartridge to fill your printer, we ask that you return that cartridge back to us. And we have varying return and recycling programs in 73 countries across the world, everywhere from HP coming at your request to pick up your cartridges from your office, or for you to be able to drop them off at certain retail locations, or mail them back into us. We want your cartridges back. We want that plastic back. We want those materials back. And we're trying as hard as we can to get that message out. So those of you who raise your hand and have that printer, make sure you're sending that plastic, those cartridges back to us, because we want to reuse them. When they come back, we've innovated a disassembly machine specifically for our cartridges. So there's a machine where you put the cartridge in that's been used and doesn't have ink left. A knife comes, pops the top off. A stick comes down, takes the sponge, squeezes out the residual ink. We reuse that ink. Then magnets come and pull the metal off. We recycle that metal and sell it back on the metal market. And what's left is just the container of plastic. We shred that plastic and then we mix it with recycled bottle plastic, PET, or hanger plastic to strengthen it back up again and then create a new cartridge and put it back out on the market. But what I want to focus on is the bottle. What are we doing with that bottle? Like I mentioned, this process has been going on for quite some time. For over a decade we've been doing this, and we use 1 million bottles a day in this process. So we're not drinking out of plastic bottles here, but I've seen them in the hotel. Those are the things that we buy back. At scale, 1 million a day. And we know we can do more with this process. But as of today, we've sold over 3.8 billion cartridges that have this recycled plastic process in it. That's, again, quite a lot of material, a lot of product. It's over 4 billion post-consumer plastic bottles that we've purchased back and put into our product today. And that number, 4 billion, is a good number. But again, we know there are a lot more bottles out there, and we want to continue to make cartridges. So how do we, as we've been talking about all day today, continue to create value in that plastic, continue to create markets for it so that we can access it and continue to put it in our products and keep it alive? To the speaker who talked about living in dead plastic, we want to keep it alive. So the specific supply chain innovation that I'm going to talk about is focused on a project that we've been running in Haiti to take what we've been doing in that ink cartridge process and go even further from a sustainable impact point of view, bringing in a deeper commitment to the environment, to people, and to the community. Oh, sorry. So let's roll the video. Should I continue on? Okay.
Ce pays mnié. Pendant après 12 janvier, nous venons vivre en battante. Une bague personne, c'est mon cap. Et si c'est mon maman, c'est mon papa. Après, moi, c'est à prendre un bail pour arriver plus devant. Mettez dans le ballon, me voyez ça. Plus moment, plus mouvement, plus passer ça pour nous capables de nettoyer le pays avec Pogina et Navamasia. Moi, je joins tous les petits amis qui viennent maintenant. C'est là-dedans nous payons l'école, c'est là-dedans nous payons l'école, c'est là-dedans nous voyons l'école, c'est là-dedans nous faisons tout le bagage net. Nous avons changé dans la vie. Moi, je suis entré dans sa bouteille qui fait nous devons payer, nous payons 4 l'école. Ok, après ça, même dans plastique là et puis on vient continuer moi mettre petit nous l'école et puis on continue avec. Ta fait moi mais parce que bon Dieu bon moi yo capable de dire c'est ça que fait moi intéressé.
So Rosette's story is something really important to us when we started thinking about our ink cartridge process and how we could do more. She symbolizes what we're trying to do. It's to really work at the first mile of this process with the collectors, figuring out how to make this work for everybody, how to make sure that they're getting paid a fair wage, that their health and safety needs are taken into account, that the entire process is working for everybody. And as we all know, this is very difficult. HP's supply chain typically hasn't extended this far, where we're literally flying down to Haiti on a regular basis, sitting down in collector meetings, trying to figure out how to problem solve what's going on so that we can stand up a supply chain, learn how to do it, and then scale it to other parts of the world, like here in Malaysia. So that's what we're trying to do. Throughout this project, we've learned quite a few lessons that I want to talk about in terms of what's important to us and how we've been able to stand up this process and extend our supply chain to a location like Haiti where there are so many challenges. The first thing is that the plastic quality is absolutely paramount to HP. What is more important to HP than ink cartridges, right? Everyone always talks about how ink drives HP's bottom line, and we know that that's a very important product to us. So if that plastic that holds our most precious ink, that delivers to our customers the best print quality in the world, we've got problems if that plastic isn't providing the right function that it needs to, if it's creating poor ink quality performance when you print with HP. So making sure that the collectors understand exactly how they need to collect, that the cap, that the ring, that the label, and the glue need to come off in a very specific manner so that we can reuse this and put it in our most valuable product, one of our most valuable products. I think the people in personal systems or 3D printing might get a little upset. But nonetheless, this is really important to us, and the quality of what we're trying to do is absolutely essential. The second is how do we build a strong supply chain? In a location like Haiti, this is an area where resiliency is incredibly important. There are earthquakes and hurricanes. You can see from the video here, the recycling line is out in the open air. It's not in a closed building. So there are things like ensuring the equipment that we're putting there doesn't have extra electronics that aren't necessary, because electricity isn't always running, right? There's a lot of generator action that happens and intermittent access to electricity. So thinking through how to create a resilient process and supply chain is incredibly important. And then extending to the people and community pillar of our strategy. We've really taken this holistic approach to think through what the collectors need at each step of this supply chain so that when we're coming in with a solution, we're really thinking about and trying to minimize any unintended consequences, setting a fair price that we're going to pay for this plastic, ensuring that we're paying and ordering plastic consistently so that the folks working in this chain understand they have a job every day and they're going to get paid every day because we're buying this plastic. As long as they meet our quality standards and they're coming to the training sessions and they understand how we need this process to work, to be able to continue to buy it, it works for everybody. So since March 2017, here's where we stand with this program. We've used over 250 tons of ocean-bound plastic. That's over 500,000 pounds of plastic, or about 12 million bottles, that have been put into HP ink cartridges and aren't in the ocean. And while that number might sound small, because in certain respects it is very small, It's a huge number from an innovation point of view. When you look at other companies who've been able to stand up a supply chain and use ocean-bound plastic in their products, we believe this is a leading number, and we're thrilled that we've gotten so far in such a short amount of time. The road is certainly longer, and we have much more to do, but we're ready to scale this and do more. We've created more than 600 income opportunities for workers in Haiti, and we've put more than 50 kids in school from the families of the collectors who are working in our chain, and we have 50 more who are getting ready to go to school this January. So together, we can solve this problem. HP certainly can't do it alone. We haven't done this program alone. We had fantastic partners that we were working with. And as we look to scale this program and this type of extension and reinvention of our supply chain to other regions like Asia, this is how we're going to try to do it together, working with strong partners to make a sustainable impact for the future. Thank you.